Hi everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Paula. Well, it's the end of September, and that means it's time for our thrift find of the month, where my sisters and I share our favorite thrift finds for this month. Now, normally it's all three of us, but this month it's just Kathleen and myself because Patty and her family are in Kentucky visiting her son Charlie, who is a freshman at the University of Kentucky. It's Parents' Weekend, and so they are off having a great time and seeing Charlie and getting to check out the university. So Kathleen and I will be holding down the fort for this month. Also, this video is going to contain part 2 of Kathleen's long-lost thrift haul. It's actually part 2 of her summer's long thrifting adventures. We had part 1 in another video, which I will link up here or here somewhere. This is part 2 of the things that she found this summer on her thrifting trips. Also, I do want to say that, as you know, from time to time, my sisters and I share things and products that we feel very strongly about or that we enjoy and that we love. And today I want to share with you Rose Forever. Rose Forever is a company that creates these gorgeous rose arrangements. These arrangements are made from roses that have been preserved through an all-natural process using essential oils, and they will last for a year.
Rose Forever is a New York-based company that was founded in 2019. They make these luxurious rose boxes using 100% natural fresh roses grown in Ecuador, which grows some of the best quality and finest roses in the world. I did not know that. I thought that was so interesting. They use only natural oils to preserve their roses. There is nothing chemical in their boxes, and the bouquets are handcrafted by skilled professional rose artisans. The roses come in round, square, and even heart-shaped boxes in many different sizes, from 9 to 49 roses per box. There's even a crystal box that doubles as a jewelry box. If you use the link in the description box, you can save $25 off your first order from Rose Forever. They make a wonderful gift for that special someone, or even just a special treat for yourself.
Before I share with you what my thrift find is, I do want to say that we are so close to 5,000 subscribers, and we're going to have a fun 5,000 subscriber giveaway when we reach that milestone. So if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and you'll be eligible for the giveaway. Also, give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone you think might enjoy this content. It really helps out our channel, and we love to share our enthusiasm and the joy that thrifting and making our homes beautiful bring to us. All right, my thrift find of the month is a pretty big sized one, so I'm not sure if I can get it all in one in the camera, but I will try. It is this gorgeous needlepoint picture. Now, you all know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I absolutely love all things handmade. And when I see them at the thrift store, I cannot help but rescue them. And when I saw this and I saw the price, which was $5, I knew that was coming home with me. I'll insert some footage right here of a close-up view of it, because I know it's hard to see when I'm just holding it up. It is absolutely beautiful, and it is in these gorgeous fall tones. When I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, somebody spent so much time and energy making that beautiful needlepoint picture. I cannot leave it here. And at $5, even if I don't have a place for it, I can put it on our online shop, and someone will love this picture as much as I do. So the frame is, it's not the most beautiful frame ever, but certainly a little bit of rub and buff or paint or even reframing it can solve that. But for $5, this gorgeous needlepoint picture is my thrift find of the month for September. And if you don't know about our Relatively Refined online shop and blog, I would encourage you to go check it out. We are at relativelyrefined.com, and I'll put that address down here on the screen. And we have a blog that we publish, as well as an online shop where we share some of the things that we have found on our thrifting adventures. Our goal is not to make a ton of money. Our goal is simply to keep these treasures out of the landfill and put them into good and loving homes with people like y'all who will appreciate them. So we would love for you to take a gander at the shop, check out the blog, and sign up for our email list where we announce all kinds of fun things that we have going on, probably like the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So anyway, thank you so much for your support. And now let's check out my sister Kathleen's thrift find of the month for September.
Hey everyone, it's time for our September thrift find of the month. This September, I found my treasure at an annual event called the Big Barn Sale. And it happens every September, and it raises money for a local charity. And this year was extra fun because I got to go with my mom and my sister Patty. My mom was visiting from Florida, and Patty came down to visit, and we all went to the sale together. It's a 2-day event, and the first day we went, and you can scope things out, and if you have something that you absolutely can't live without, you probably should buy it on the first day. And then you go back on the second day, and everything is 50% off. So what I picked up on the second day was this huge pottery, it looks like a handmade pottery bowl. And it is big. It measures 16 inches across in diameter. It's absolutely gorgeous with the sort of the unglazed bottom and then the white glazed and dripping over the edge. The people at the sale thought it was a local potter up in Woodstock, Vermont called Farmhouse Pottery, but it is not. I didn't see, they have a pretty distinct label and I didn't see it on here. It did have a very interesting label on the bottom, or mark, maker's mark on the bottom. And I couldn't find what that, particular mark, who the potter was. So if anybody out there has seen this or knows anything about it or happens to find it online, I wasn't successful. If you are, leave it in the comments because I'm very curious to know more about this bowl. It also has a little, it looks, I don't even know which way you hold it. I'm going to think it's this way, like a person. And above the head, there's a little mark. It's like S, and then like a little flower, P, and then MD stamped in there. So I don't know what those mean either. And I would be curious to know because it's always interesting to find out more about some of the treasures that you find. But I love pottery. I love these giant bowls. If you recall, almost a year ago, my thrift find of the month was a big pottery bowl that I picked up at Goodwill from Simon. It was a Simon Pierce bowl. So I rarely will leave those gorgeous bowls behind. My daughter, who is a potter, thought that this was definitely hand thrown and not like, from a mold or whatever. So it originally was marked $35 on day one. I went back on day 2 and kind of surprised that it was still there. So I was able to pick this up for $17.50 because it was 50% off. And I am going to use it this fall to put all of my beautiful fresh apples that I just picked yesterday in that. So for $17.50 and a whole lot of fun at the Big Barn Sale, my September thrift find is this beautiful pottery bowl. I don't know who made it. And like I said, if you do, let me know. All right, we will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. Today's video is a part 2 summer haul. I recently aired the first half of summer haul that I had picked up things from really when school got out until probably the end of July, beginning of August, where it was sort of the halfway point of summer. And here we are in September on Labor Day weekend, and I thought I would share with you what I was able to find on the second half of summer as far as the thrift shops and the Goodwill go. I did have a little, I had some luck. I was laid up. I had to have some knee surgery, which kind of cut into my thrifting time, but that's okay. I think I did just fine anyway. So I'm going to share with you what I have here in front of me, and then I will insert some pictures of how I've used some of the pieces around the house. And then I'm going to take you outside, because one of the things that I got, and it was actually free, is way too, it sits outside. So I'm going to share with you what it looks like outside. And I think it really adds a nice little spot to our outdoor living. So let's get started. So the first thing, I seemed to be on a bit of a canister kick. I think when I was laid up a bit, I started cleaning out my old canisters, and I happened to find recently a set of enamel white canisters, a set of 4. There was a tea, and the next one up was a coffee, and then a little bigger the sugar and the flour. And I picked those up for the whole set. They were literally brand new for $10. And I'm using them, I'll insert a picture, over in my coffee area. I'm using the coffee, sugar, and tea canisters. And then the flour I keep with my baking stuff. So you will see what that looks like over in our coffee station. The ones that I had were getting really pretty old. And so I was actually really psyched to get some newer ones. And these look clean. And the size was good. They fit over there, and they fit everything that I needed to have in them. So that was the first set of canisters. But then I saw and found these other canisters that, I have a thing. I love mushrooms. I often decorate with them, and I'm always looking for things with mushrooms on them, patterns. So I found this set of 4 canisters. They're ceramic. You can see they have the acorns and mushrooms on them, and the top has the same, and then the top piece here is what lifts off the lid. They look like they're like a log, or they have that sort of bark or wood finish to them. So this is the smallest one, and I don't know, it probably measures maybe 6 inches tall, and there are 4 of them, and I won't show you all 4, but the biggest one, it's pretty big. I mean, you can see the size of it, and they have the pattern on both sides, a little bit different. This one has a few more mushrooms on it, and this one has a few more acorns, and they all have that top mushroom that pulls off. I don't know if they're vintage. I thought I saw a date on one of them. I think they are vintage. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They don't really go with the decor in my house. Not that I try to match everything, but I have tried to find a place for them, and I just haven't been able to. So I'm just not sure if I'm going to keep them, hold on to them for, maybe my daughter will want them in her house, or maybe they'll end up in a shop drop, in an upcoming shop drop. I'm not really sure, but they're super cool, and there's no chips or anything. I think probably there was like a rubber gasket, which is not on any of them, but you could use them for, a cookie jar, or even keeping a bag of sugar in one and some tea bags in another, where you don't need an absolute super seal. Dog biscuits could go in them, or cookies, or whatever, but they were just too cool. And after Paula was saying that she was an eyewitness to people just like throwing Goodwill shelves, the stuff on the shelves, into a basket to be thrown out, the thought of, I imagine somebody made these back in the 70s. And how sad would that be to have them thrown into the landfill? So they ended up with me. Right now, they're just kind of sitting on a table because I'm just not quite sure what to do with them. So we'll see. And you may see them in the shop on our website, relatively.com, in the near future. So those were the canisters that I picked up. One I'm definitely using, and one I just love, and I just don't know how to use it or where to use it just right now. I also picked up at the local thrift store this vintage mixing bowl. It's a smaller one, maybe 7 inches across, but I love the pink and the raspberry striped. Thought it was really pretty and very, I think my grandmother even had one like this. And this says USA. It has a number like 517. So, it's really old. It does have some, it's not like, it has some staining, I guess. It doesn't have any cracks or anything. But it could be, they look really cute, I think, on an open shelf or on top of a cupboard. I just thought it was really cool. And I think it was, it wasn't very expensive. And again, I would never want to see something like this end up in the landfill. So I got that. And at that same local thrift store, I picked up a couple other little things. These I thought were absolutely adorable. And I don't actually know what they are. I think they're little mini vases. They do say on the bottom, E. Desimone, made in Italy for Vietro, 267. And this, they both say the same thing on the bottom. There is that. I did look them up. I think they have some value to them. The colors caught my eye, and just the sort of mid-century modern simplicity to the face. But I do think they're little bud vases. I have them just sitting on a windowsill. In my kitchen, I tend to put little things on the windowsills. So that's where they are now. But I don't know. And I think I paid $1 each. So could not go wrong with that. And they don't take up much room, and I had the perfect spot for them. So that was from my local thrift stores, as was a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 of these, and they're milk glass plates. So let's see, it says a stamp. It says Fire King ware, made in the USA. So it's milk glass Fire King, wheat patterned, and I would say they're like dessert plate size, a little bit bigger than a bread size, but perfect shape. 6 of them. These may end up on the shop. I'm not really sure. I thought they were really nice, but I purchased at the thrift store probably 2 years ago another set, not of milk glass, but little fall type small plates that were not round. They were more like octagonal. But these are really nice. So I may end up keeping these. I'm not really sure. I sound like Paula, don't I? But they are very fall-like, very retro, and in perfect condition. So I was happy to take those home with me too. Let's see. I also picked up this there. Probably, I think it was like $1.50. And it's just a little trinket plate, but I love foxes, and this one is so cute and just says, "You make the world a better place just by being in it." And I just thought it was adorable. And I may tuck it in somebody's stocking, actually, Christmas stocking, for, when you take your rings off or your earrings. It's just, it doesn't have a whole lot of use for it, but it's adorable. And sitting on a dresser, it can catch some of your jewelry that you take off before going to bed. So I think that was like $1. So one of the, I try to pick up a couple thrifty things for my family for Christmas and stick it in their stockings. And I wanted to get my husband, he's always like, I just want a set of like diner salt and pepper shakers, because I have a grinder and I've got a salt cellar. And, he's like, I just want to be able to sprinkle salt and pepper on whatever food I'm having. So I picked up these at the Goodwill. Thought they were kind of retro and cool. They're like an off-white, ceramic, super dinery looking. There's no markings on them or anything, but they're really classic and cool. And then I found a set of clear ones with the silver top on them, and I asked him, which one did he want, and he picked the clear ones. So these are on the shop. They're just cool. If you like salt and pepper shakers, they're just kind of retro and cool. But I don't need 2 sets, and I gave him the choice, and he picked the clear ones. So we're going with those. Let's see. I also got at a tag sale a couple of pieces of decor. Really, I think they're more decor. I suppose you could use them for fall or Thanksgiving. So the first is this little, looks like a gourd. It's ceramic, stone light, microwave and dishwasher safe. So I guess they do expect you to put food in it. It has the top. And I just like, it's very simple, very sweet. It's not big, it's maybe 6 inches across. And with that came the turkey. And the same thing, it has the lid, and it also says microwave and dishwasher safe. So clearly it's okay to put food in them. They're not old. I'm sure these were relatively new. But I don't have a whole lot of Thanksgiving decor. And I really liked the gourd, the white pumpkin or gourd. So I'm definitely keeping this. And I didn't want to take that and not the turkey. So I just thought they were kind of cool. And like I said, I don't have a whole lot of Thanksgiving decor. So it was kind of neat to pick up. And they have a little bit of a vintage feel to them, a very home, sort of classic Thanksgiving feel to them. So I like them. So we'll see where those, I'll probably use those in some sort of a Thanksgiving tablescape. Let's see, a couple more things, and then I will take you outside. This I picked up. It's a cobalt blue, like a vintage beer bottle. I don't know if it doesn't appear to be super old. Like the rubber gasket part looks okay, in really good shape. But really a beautiful bottle. I mean, the color, that cobalt blue glass is spectacular. So my dad had a bunch of these, and he used to make salad dressing and keep the salad dressing in there. So that's a possibility. I may do that. It's a little hard to see how much you have, and it's a little hard to clean, I would imagine, if I'm putting oil, olive oil, and vinegar in there. But he did it, and it was always really delicious. So I picked that up at the Goodwill. I thought it was kind of neat. And the color, obviously the blue, cobalt blue, is an eye catcher for sure. Back to my local thrift store, I did pick up this framed painting. And it's very simple. It's like, it's somebody painted it, signed M.J. Lawrence, 1982. Just a barn. It looks very Vermontian, the foliage, the fall leaves, and the birch trees, and the dirt road. But on the back, what caught my eye was that it said, oil painting, Dorset, Vermont, which was kind of neat because that's close to home. It did come in this frame, but the frame was like a kind of a straw colored. I didn't care for it, and it really didn't do anything, to kind of boost the picture. So I took it apart and I just spray painted the frame black. And I think it really it's much more striking that way. And I'll insert a picture because I have it hanging up in my living room. And I think it looks really good. Very simple. I like that kind of art, very simple. I like barns. I seem to have a lot of paintings with barns on them. So this was kind of, I think I paid $5 for it. And then the little bit of work that I had to do to spray paint the frame, which was, all of 15 minutes. So not bad. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is, I haven't shared this with anybody yet here on the channel, but I am a collector of vintage children's clothing, and I have bins of it. And, at one point I thought, wouldn't it be fun to open up a little vintage children's shop? I had the name picked out. I had the logo picked out. I just haven't had time. I'm working full time as an educator, and I just haven't had time. So maybe it's a retirement thing. Maybe it ends up I do something online. I'm not really sure, but it is so fun to scour thrift shops and the Goodwill and yard sales, rummage sales, wherever you can find things. You often will find really adorable vintage children's clothing. So the local thrift store was having like a 50% off sale. And I found a few items that I'm just going to share with you because they're just so adorable. And like I said, eventually when I have my little vintage children's shop, they'll be perfect. And I haven't washed these or anything, but I mean, how cute is that? Just like this little shirt. I don't even know. It's just so cute. Handmade. It's got a little label in there. It was handmade. Got buttons on the back. And just simply adorable. So I got that. And I think these were 50 cents each because they were part of that 50% off sale. A lot of the clothing that I find for the children's clothing, it's for girls. So rarely do I find boys things. So I snapped this up because it looked a little more, I mean, it could be either, but at least it could be like that. Everything I have here is pink. This is not, and it says, a little angel original. A lot of the clothing, the vintage children's clothing is made in the Philippines. And this little sweater, it's like a little vintage ski sweater. Got the little buttons. I mean, just so cute. And then this little pink dress. And if you look at the buttons, I mean, they're little ducks. It's got the little tie. I mean, how adorable. I don't even know what size. They never say what size they are. Either it's worn off or I just can't tell, but maybe like a 6 month. I don't really know, but so cute. And then with that little dress was this little like pink corduroy coat. And this has dog buttons on it. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I don't know if they're handmade. This one doesn't have a label. It very well could be, somebody made it for some little person a long time ago. So I picked that one up. And this one is not vintage, but I mean, how cute is that? Excuse me. Little buttons on it. It just looks like a little ski sweater or something. So cute. So that is pretty much what I picked up from midsummer on until here we are into fall, starting into fall. I'm hoping to continue. Like I said, my work schedule now gets in a little bit of the way when it comes to the local thrift store because they close before I can get to them. But I did discover a new little thrift store very close by to my work. So I'm going to go check that out and hopefully they'll have some treasures that I can pick up and share with you in an upcoming video. So let me take you outside because I want to show you what I picked up for free and what it looks like out there in the yard. So let's go outside. So this is what I picked up. A bench and 2 teak wooden chairs. And I saw they were free on the Facebook Marketplace. And I've been wanting to do like a little garden type thing out. This is the woods behind our house and there's a little stream. But when we were lugging them off of the truck and into the backyard, they're really, really heavy. And we plunked them here and then we're like, wow, this is actually not a bad spot for them. So we didn't do anything to them. This is how they came. We didn't wash them. The woman's like, you could put some bleach or something. I mean, they're super heavy, but quality furniture, teak furniture. And she even had the cushions, brand new Sunbrella cushions for each of them. So that was the only thing that we had to, air quotes, pay for was the labor because they were super heavy to get up into the truck and then lug all the way out into the backyard. But I have to say, we get some beautiful sunsets here, and sitting here, you can look. It looks right out to the west, and it's really a lovely view either way, out into the woods or to the west. So that was the last thing I got, and this happened to be a terrific score because they were free. And this is the gorgeous view that I get to look at when we're sitting out here in these teak chairs, looking to the west. Well, thanks for watching this video. We at Relatively Refined really appreciate all of our viewers, and we read every single comment that people put and really do our best to try to respond to each and every one of them. We are working towards 5,000 subscribers. We're getting very, very close. And when we do, there will be a giveaway. So if you haven't subscribed and you want to be part of that giveaway, do so now. We'll be reaching that goal very, very soon, we think. We also have our website, relatively.com, which has a blog, usually connected to some of the videos that we share with you, as well as the online store. If some of our treasures that we can't use here or that we're replacing with something new that we got, will end up on the online store, where you can kind of browse and see if there's anything there that interests you. We really do try to keep our prices very, very low. It's not about, a huge markup on these items. It's about making sure that they go to a person who really appreciates them and saves them from all of these items from going into the landfill. So encourage you, take a peek. There's some really nice things on there. As a matter of fact, we all do it. So each of the sisters can put on something, and you don't know how tempting it is to end up buying lots of the things that either Paula or Patty put on there. It's really hard. Sometimes I have to just refrain myself and say, no, you don't need that. You have enough of your own, some of which is also going to end up on that shopping site. So take a look. I think you'll like what you see. Thanks again for sticking to the end and watching, and we will see you in the next video.